Good morning. I'm Jorge Fernandez, and I'm here today. I'm going to run one of the first in a series of webinars where I'm going to be talking about buying and selling properties in South Florida. It is going to be very important that you follow me. So I will show you how to save money in your transactions when you buy and you sell. This is a very vibrant market, the South Florida market. We all know that. Sorry about that, Guille. You're the only one. Good morning. I'm Jorge Fernandez, and I'm here to talk today in the first of a series of webinars in which I'm going to be telling you about the different aspects of the South Florida uh, market in terms of properties, buying and selling, and also want to show you how to save in those transactions. For the ones that live here in South Florida, we know that it's a very vibrant community. It's a community in which people, we have a lot of different things that the rest of the nation is looking for. We have the sunshine, we have the vibrant culture, the diversity, beaches. So it's a really good place to invest. And also, we're the connection, the hub to connect to South America and Central America and the Caribbean, which is very important. Here we have year-round sunshine, strong job and business growth. The market for business in Miami has been growing tremendously in the past 10 years, and all the aspects, all the statistics show that we're going to be growing by bounce and leap within the next 10, 15 years. Obviously, we have a high demand for residential and vacation properties because of the sunshine and so forth. We have a lot of visitors from Europe, from Asia, from other parts of the country, and many of them love the area and they invest here. So it is very important that we have this number of visitors that look at us. We don't have state income tax. Very, very important. A lot of people move here, like from New York, they have a state income tax. In California, they have a state income tax. Here, you can make money. You pay federal taxes like everybody else, but you don't pay income taxes. Very, very important. That's why a lot of people move here. And obviously, it's a great international appeal because of our diversity. We have, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 different cultures here. People from South America, Venezuela, Colombia, Brazil, Argentina, Central America, all the nations there, Mexico, El Salvador, Honduras, and then we have the Caribbean. We have a lot of immigration from Cubans, and then we have visitors from, Puerto Rico is the United States, but also it's a different island, different culture, and also Santo Domingo. And obviously, all the European countries, all the Asian countries, so we have a great international appeal. Now, there are many things that you don't know about real estate, the first buyers or the ones that have bought before, but you have a lot of costs that you don't really see when you buy and sell properties or when you are looking for the property. For these are things that you're going to be paying for, which are the attorney's fees or tele company fees. These are the people who will process your closing. There are people who will prepare the documentation. At the same time, they're going to make sure that your property is free of liens and so forth. And they're the ones who are going to charge you for the buyer, at least to the buyer. They're going to charge you for what is called title insurance. And what is title insurance? Let me tell you a little bit about it. Title insurance is something that everybody has to buy. Or if you don't buy it, you're not very smart. Because what it does is it covers not the future, not like all the insurances, like in your car insurance, covers accidents that you may have in the future. Your home insurance is the same, damages that a hurricane might cause to your property. But title insurance, it goes the other way. It looks at the past and it makes sure that there's no liens in your property. There's no hidden things that have happened in your property that you can be charged with, and it would really devaluate the value of your property. So title insurance is one time you pay for it, and it covers if there's something that appears after closing that costs you money and you have to pay to fix it, the title insurance will pay it. It could be hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that's something that all the lenders, you have a loan when you buy, All the lenders required. And if you're a buyer and you don't buy it, you're a fool, because it's a one-time charge, as I said, and it's really worthwhile. There's other closing costs, miscellaneous, or studies there. Also, there's proration of taxes. One of the things that I want to make sure that you understand is that the taxes in South Florida are paid in arrears, which means that the taxes for 2025 are not known yet and will be known in November of this year and will be paid beginning in November of this year. And what happens is, let's say you buy just a short things I'm going to tell you about what happens in a closing. When you have a closing, let's say you buy a property today in July, we don't know the taxes for 2025, but they have to be prorated between the buyer and the seller. And the buyer pays until the day that they close. Let's say you close tomorrow. So you will be paying taxes. The seller will be paying taxes until the 12th of July, because they actually own the property until then. And the buyer will pay the taxes from July 12th on until the end of the year. But we don't know the taxes at the end of the year, what they're going to be. We know what they were in 2024. So what happens is that we use the number that was paid in 2024, the amount, and we prorated based on the number of days that the seller occupied and the buyer occupies the property during the year. But since we don't know, maybe the taxes when it comes in 2025 will be higher than the ones that were paid in 2024. So what happens is that the seller, in this case, if they are higher, let's say they go up by $500, the seller did not get reimbursed by the buyer, or the buyer will have to pay more for the taxes, because he only paid taxes based on what they were in 2024. So it's very important that when you go to a closing, you execute a document that's called reproration of taxes, and the buyer and the seller agree that if the taxes vary from now until when they're known, from the time you sell until or buy until they're known, if they vary, then they will be reprorated and people will be repaid accordingly. So that's very important. So there's a lot of different things that you have to know. Also, there's a lot of realtors that began charging a few years ago what is called a processing fee. Before, they used to charge only a commission. Now, certain things that most of the realtors, not me, not my company, but most of the realtors, they charge a processing fee, which is around $295, $300, $400. So, what is the difference between, let's say, a title company and an attorney? Well, it's very simple. A title company doesn't represent you. A title company is a transactional agent. It doesn't have the right or the legal authority to represent you. An attorney, because it's licensed as an attorney in Florida, has the duty, not only the obligation, but the duty to represent you, because based on the canon of ethics, he's there to represent your rights. So it is very important that you know that before you buy or you sell properties. When you buy using a title company, yes, they're very efficient sometimes in doing the right, preparing the right closing statement and so forth, but you have to be aware that they do not represent you. So if you do not have an attorney, you could sign a contract, but that you don't know what your rights are in the contract, because an attorney is the only one that can tell you the pitfalls of it. There are some unresolved issues that may take place that, as I said, reproration of taxes that maybe you are not told if you go to a title company. And there's a lot of miscellaneous little charges here and there, $100 here, $200 here, $300 here, that when you are going to close and appear in the closing statement, you really don't know what they are, and they just tell you, well, that's the way it is, and so forth. But they could add up to money. They could add up to probably $500, $600, or $700. I am the owner of National Properties Realty. I've been in business as a real estate broker. I have agents that work for me for the past 30, 40 years in South Florida. So I'm very knowledgeable of the real estate market. At the same time, I'm also an attorney. I have my own attorney's office. I have people working for me, and I specialize in real estate law. So I've been a real estate attorney for a long, long time. At the same time, I also, even though it's really not here or not there, I was a builder. So I'm very experienced in all the aspects of what is real estate in this market in South Florida. My office will give you the first class service, legal expertise, which is, I've been an attorney for more than 40 years. And one of the things I do is, because since I'm the owner of both the real estate company and my own law firm, I have actually joined both things together to benefit you, and that's how you're going to save money. Because if you use my brokers in your real estate transaction, whether you're buying or you're selling, I will not charge you as the attorney. I will process the transaction. I will provide you with the title insurance, which is a costly proposition, and we're going to get into that later on. And I will get you all those services for free and those costs for free. So you're going to save a lot of money if you work with me, because of the unique situation in which I'm both a real estate broker and I'm an attorney. So, and at the same time, since I can coordinate both things, the real estate transaction and the from the broker's perspective and from the real estate attorney's perspective, everything's going to be smooth. There's going to be no issues between one and the other. So you're going to, as I said before, you're going to save thousands in legal fees. You can see me directly. I will be responding all your calls. I will be taking care of your contract from the beginning. I mean, when you buy or sell a property, the first thing you do is you enter into a contract. So I'll be preparing that contract for you, and I'll be explaining every single one of the items in it, because my experience over 40 years, I know every single of the issues in the contract. I have closed more than $300 million in real estate transactions, both as a real estate broker and as an attorney. As an attorney, I have closed loans of $30, $40, $50 million, not only in South Florida, but I just did recently a loan and closed a loan from my office in Miami, but the property was in Hawaii, and I closed it from here. It was a loan. I was representing a lender, and it was a $30 million loan. So I know all the aspects. I've been involved in residential and commercial transactions. So with me, you will have a one-stop shop. I'm going to explain to you now, how do you save money? As I mentioned to you, since I am the real estate broker, I'm also the attorney. I'm going to give you all the cost of the title and all the legal fees and what cost you anything. So I'm going to use an example. If you're buying a property that's for $500,000, which is very typical of South Florida, most properties right now running to at least $1 million. But let's say on a $500,000 property, let's talk about certain aspects of it. If you have the commission, typically, if you're a buyer, it's a 3% commission, which you see is $15,000 each of two cases. Legal fees, I could be attorney's legal fees or title fees are between $1,500 and $2,000. In my case, I won't charge you a thing for it. It's zero. So you will be saving already between $1,500 and $2,000. In title and closing, the title insurance for a $500,000 property is going to cost you between $4,200 and $4,500, because normally you have to buy the title insurance for yourself. But if you have a lender, then there'll be additional costs on the lender policy, although you can get a simultaneous issue, which is very inexpensive, but they have certain clauses that you have to add for it, which add up to the price. So you pay out of pocket in a typical transaction between $4,200 and $4,500 for title insurance. With me, zero. I'll pay for it. I'll pay for it for you. And the realtor processing fee, as I mentioned before, between $350 and $500 typically, I'll charge you zero, because my realty company does not charge that fee. So a total cost of a transaction, of a $500,000 transaction, going through a regular channel in which you go through another realtor and then they refer to you to either a title company or to an attorney, is going to cost you, between, including the commission between $21,000 to $22,000. With me, you will charge. The only thing you have to pay is the fee, the realty, the broker commission, exactly the same as you would pay on the other one, which is $15,000. So that actually shows you that you can save up to $7,000 if you go with me, which is at this point in time, at this time, and everybody's trying to save some money. I think it's very important. Now let's talk about if you're on the seller side. On the seller side, you also have to pay, assuming again, a $500,000 commission. It's again $15,000. In my case, if you're the seller, and I'm not going to be, you don't have to buy title insurance. I'm going to reduce the fees. I'm going to do it 2.5%. So instead of paying me $15,000, you're going to be paying me $12,500. And a title evidence is called title search, about $350, zero on my side. Closing fees again between $1,500 and $2,000. It could be more because there's a lot of hidden fees that especially title companies will bring up to the closing when they give you the closing statement the day before. You don't even know why they're there. But it could be more than $2,000. But let's assume there's only between $1,500 and $2,000. In my case, nothing, zero. Again, realtor processing fee, in my case, zero. And there's all other charges, miscellaneous charges that you'll find out the day before closing, and even though you may actually protest and be upset, there's nothing you can do because otherwise you won't be able to close the next day, and everybody wants to close and sell the property. So there'll be another $600, $700 owing me, no hidden fees. So as you can see, if you're a seller of $500,000 property, you'll be paying between $18,000 and $18,500. In my case, only $12,500. So you save up to $6,000. Again, significant savings. So if you're interested in finding out more, and not only about just closings, but anything related to real estate transactions or other aspects of the law, you can contact me. You can see it on the screen. There's also on my website. There are certain things that are important. For example, what I mentioned before, the reparation of taxes. If you don't do it right, if you don't have the right assistance, you can actually lose up to $1,000 at closing because of you're actually not. We're going to have to be paying if you're the buyer at the end of the year increased taxes, and you were not compensated from the seller side. There's other things that I'm very an expert in, which is, let's say, condominium law. There's people that have had, special assistance animals that they want to bring in because they're service animals, and the condominiums associations, because they're run very erratically and they don't know the law. They don't know that ADA, that it will be a discrimination if you're not allowed to bring your special dog, your assistant, the dog that you need, is a special support dog. So contact me. I will help you in everything you can. It will cost you nothing to call me. I'll be very, very happy. I'll be able to give you all the answers that I know, which I think there are plenty. And I think you'll be very happy, very satisfied. So thank you very much for attending today's webinar, and I'll be looking forward to more like this one in the future. Thank you.